there, so today I'm going to show you how to crochet this lovely loop stitch, and I'm going to show you two different methods. One will be for when you say making homewares, like this is a crochet rug, and then I'm also going to show you a method that we use when we're making our toys. So let's get going. Hi there, so today I'm going to show you how to crochet the loop stitch, and I'm going to show you two different methods. One is for when you're, say, making a crochet rug, and then the other is for when you're making crochet toys. And it's slightly different because you'll want your loop stitches in different positions. So I've just got a little swatch of double crochets here, and to start with I'm going to show you how to make the one as if you were going to make a rug or a cushion. So you pop your hook through the first stitch, and then you have your yarn. If I just show you, this is how I hold my yarn. So I've got it going over my forefinger from front to back, and at this point you can really choose how long you want your loop stitch to be. So you might want it that long, or you may want it much shorter than that, and it generally tells you in the pattern how long your loop stitch needs to be. And generally when you're looking at patterns, say they say the 1 to 4 centimetre loop stitch, well, the 4 centimetres will run from the bottom of the stitch here right to the top of your finger. So that's the bit that you want to measure. So we've put our hook through the first stitch, and then we're going to grab the back of the stitch with our hook, and we're just going to pull that through. So we've now got 2 loops on the hook. Then to complete this stitch, all you're going to do is yarn over again and pull that through. And that's it. Your stitch is secure and it won't move, and you can go ahead and crochet into the next stitch if you're going to be making another loop stitch. So let's go ahead and do that. So we can drop that one. And then we're going to put our hook through the next stitch, and we're going to grab the back loop and pull that through, and then we're going to yarn over again and we're going to pull it through those 2. Let's keep going. So onto our next stitch. So on our next stitch we just do exactly the same as what we've been doing. So we pop our hook through the next stitch, we grab the back loop and pull that through, and then we yarn over again with the working yarn and pull that through the 2 stitches. And then we can go ahead and do that again. So we're putting our hook through, we grab the back, pull it through, yarn over and pull that through. And you can see that once you've completed the stitches, they're pretty firm, they don't tend to move around, and that's because you've locked them in place. So we'll just keep going till the end of this row. Now you'll notice that as I'm crocheting here, all of my stitches are ending up on the back of the work, like that. So when you're making toys, well, certainly the toys that we make in our book, Mabel and Bunny and Co., you want to have the loop on the front of the work. And on the next row, I'm going to show you how to put the loop onto the front of the work for when you're making toys. I always forget to let go of that loop at the end. So let's just have a look at this. So one side is looking like that, and then if we turn it over, that's our loops on the other side. And as I say, you can make these as long or as short as you want. So I'm going to move on to the next row now, and I'm going to show you how to make the loop stitch, but this time they're going to end up on the front of your work, and there's just one little thing that we need to do different. So we put our hook through the stitch and we grab the stitch and pull it through. Now at this point, on the previous row that I showed you, we would just yarn over here and we'd pull that through. Well, what we're going to do now is we're going to move the hook to the back of the work and the loop to the front, and then we're going to yarn over and finish the stitch. So the loop is now on the front, and we're going to do that again. So we're going to our next stitch and we're grabbing it just as we did previously and pulling that through, but then instead of finishing it off like that, we're going to bring our loop to the front and we yarn over again and we pull that through the remaining 2 hoops. And you can see now that instead of the loops being on the back of the work, they are now on the front of the work. So let's keep going for a few more stitches. So we're going to our next stitch, we grab our yarn and pull that through, and then we bring the loop to the front and we complete that stitch. Then we can move on to the next one, and so hook through the next stitch and we grab the working yarn, so we've got 2 loops on there, and then we yarn over. Oh, haha, look, I forgot to bring it to the front. Just testing you. There we go. Then we're going to go through the next stitch and grab it, bring the stitch to the front, yarn over and pull it through. And you can see that now these stitches are on the front of the work. I personally love the loop stitch. I just think it's such a dramatic stitch, and it's just so lovely when you've completed it. I just think it's fabulous. So just as a recap, we put our hook through the stitch, we grab the working yarn and pull that through, and then we bring that to the front, and then we grab the working yarn and just complete the stitch. And that's how you keep going. You put the loops, you make the loops the length of the for the required pattern, and you start and stop them when you need to, and it's just a beautiful stitch. So I hope that is helpful, and I hope you really enjoy the loop stitch. Just give it some time and you'll probably think it's just as fabulous as I do. And yeah, if you like it, give us the thumbs up and do subscribe down below. Thank you for watching us. Happy crochet.